Hi all. So in the previous video, we talked about how we use lists in Python to manipulate data. In this video, we will look on how to use dictionaries in Python. What if you want to look up a value using a label? That's where dictionaries come in. In Python, a dictionary is a collection of key-value pairs, much like a real-life dictionary, where you look up a word to find its definition. Dictionaries are used for fast lookups where a list consumes a lot of time. Coming to dictionaries in Python. While lists use square brackets, dictionaries use curly braces. Inside, we have a key followed by a colon and then its value. A crucial rule to remember, keys must be unique. Think of it like a locker system. One key opens exactly one locker. If you try to use the same key for a new item, Python will simply overwrite the old value. A quick example of what was just explained. Take a minute to think about it. Here, instead of creating a duplicate key for ID and then assigning it the value 202, the Python compiler instead overwrites the existing value of ID 101 with the value 202 and then saves it in memory. So the output will be ID is to 101, comma name is to Alice. Keys of a dictionary must be immutable. That is, it cannot be changed after creation. So the allowed data types for a dictionary's keys are strings, integers, floats, and tuples. List, dictionary, and set cannot be used as they can be changed after creation. They are mutable. As we have seen in the previous video how lists are mutable, dictionaries are also mutable. Dictionaries, in the sense, the values of a dictionary are mutable. That's what is demonstrated through this example. Now we have some methods for accessing keys, values, as well as items of a dictionary. So for accessing or for receiving all the keys of a dictionary, there is a method called keys. Here we see the keys of the dictionary, that is ID and name, is returned as a list. Now we have another method known as values for accessing the values of a dictionary. We could say 101 and Alice as the output. Now we have another method called items, which basically returns a list of tuples with each item being a tuple. As to what is a tuple, we will come across in the future videos. Now, about the get method, if a key is not found in a dictionary, it raises a key error. So, to prevent an error or an exception being raised in the program, we can use the get method. So, how to use get method here? If a particular key, so we search for a particular key here. If the key is already present, then it returns the value of that key. Else, what it will return is that if the key is not present, just like hand is not present in the dictionary as a key, so it will return the second parameter or argument as the output. So here in this case 100 will be the output. That's about the get method. So why dictionaries are used in some cases instead of list? It's basically for traversing, for in the case of a list, for searching an element through the list, it takes a time complexity of big O of n. Again, that a video regarding time complexity will be uploaded soon, very soon. Uh, Basically, it just consumes a lot of time in simple terms, whereas a dictionary takes a linear search or a big O of 1. Is this time required for a lookup through the dictionary? So the methods of dictionaries. First is update. This is used to merge two dictionaries. Here, as we can see, we have a dictionary named user with keys ID and name and values 101 and Alice. We have another dictionary user 2, which has again keys as ID and sal and values as 900 and 9800 respectively. Now, if we update user with user 2, if the keys in user 2 are already present in user, that will get updated. So the ID will now take the value 900 and other keys will just get appended, just like it will just work like append function in list. So the final dictionary will be ID is to 900, name is to Alice, sal is to 9800, as you can see here. Now the next function is pop. So it basically, if we give a key to key as an argument, it will remove that key value pair. So here, if I give ID as the key, it will remove the key value pair of ID. And then what is left is name is to Alice, sal is to 9800. Here, we can't give an empty argument for pop. Instead, we have another function named pop item, which does the function of pop that is present in list. So if we write user.pop item, it just removes the last element and returns it back to the program where it gets initialized to x. And if we print x, it will be a tuple with key and the removed key and the removed value. So these are methods, basic methods in dictionary. Again, so even though it is time efficient, it is memory inefficient. There is a trade-off between memory and time in programming, which will be discussed in future videos. So yeah, again, list has an index, dictionary has a key. Now, list is ordered, dictionary is ordered to an extent. Mutable, yes, list is mutable, dictionary is mutable. Lookup speed, again, it's big O of n, means it takes a faster time and longer time compared to dictionary, which only takes big O of 1. Again, just like the previous video, before we end this session, we'll try to look upon one question. So here the problem statement is that we have n voting papers. The ith vote has a string SI written on it. Print all strings that are written on the most number of votes in lexicographical order. So we are given with the number of strings and we have to accept that, and then we have to print the most occurring string in lexicographical order. Here beat occurs two times, wet occurs two times. So both of them should be printed. But since beat is lexicographically smaller, it should be printed first. Similarly here, buffalo appears 8 times, so it should be printed. Yeah, kick appears almost 4 times, so it should be printed. Here everything appears just only once, so yeah, it should be printed in lexicographical order. Again, take a moment, think about it. So here we have to use dictionary. So first we receive all input strings and append them to a list. So after having a list of all the strings entered by the user, we are creating a dictionary where each key is the string entered by the user and value is the frequency or the number of times it has appeared in the list. So a common doubt would be what is collections and what is this content? So collections is just another built-in module in Python that has specialized container data types. So and they provide alternatives that are more efficient than the usual data structures that we have in the like list set and dictionary. And again, counter is a class in this collections module. So it acts like a dictionary and it creates a dictionary. So when we give the argument uh, any iterable as an argument to this counter constructor, it basically creates a dictionary. So let's consider. So D is definitely a dictionary where each key is the string entered by the user and the value is the frequency of string. Now we obtain MCT is the maximum count that is observed. Now we have initialized an empty list. Now again this line means that the d dot most underscore common creates a list of tuples where it is arranged in sorted in descending order with respect to their values. So even though the values are present inside the tuple, it occupies the second position in the tuple. In d dot most underscore common method, what it does is that it sorts the entire data set based on the decreasing order of values. So now CH basically iterates through all keys and CH basically means character and CT means count. So if the particular count is equal to the maximum count, that means it appears most frequently in the sequence, then we have to append the string to the result array. R is basically the result array or the result list. So we have to append it to that. And now after the loop is done, we sort the list so that the result is obtained in lexicographical order. That's basically ascending order. And now then we are just iterating through that result list and we print each one. So this is a basic program using dictionary that is very frequently, this technique is very frequently used in competitive programming. Yeah, and that's about dictionaries in Python.